All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. It's Pastor Dow. I'm a little bit behind. Elder Doug sent me this the other day. I'm a little bit behind in the news because I just got finished officiating the service, putting my mother-in-law, my wife's mother, to rest. So I'm kind of behind a little bit. But I do want to bring this out. I want to bring this out because if you go back into my archives, if I said it once, I'll use the phrase, I said it 1,000 times, how that military veterans, in many, many cases, especially depends on where you're at. For instance, you've been in the Marines, you've been in the 82nd or the 101st Special Forces or whatever. They will make better cops than people who just come directly off the street and go into the academy and then now they're back on the street again with a bunch of power in their hand as police officers. And why do I say that? Because what's ingrained in the soldier is the rules of engagement. You do not fire unless you're fired upon. Now, I understand that all that changes. Every bit of that changes when you come into the civilian sector and you become what they call a public servant. And you have to eliminate the threat, to make sure that what they say is public safety or your safety first is not endangered. But here we have a case in Weirden, West Virginia. It's a 4-year Marine, Army veteran, one tour in Iraq. He's now a police officer in West Virginia. And there's a black man who has a gun by his side. And this guy shouldn't be a white cop. The shocking part about all this is that this particular white police officer was actually fired for not shooting the black man or whatever man it was that had a gun by his side and not eliminating the threat. He had it under control. He knew that this was one of those suicide things. He wanted to die by cop. And he just did not shoot him. Well, what happened? Well, up drives 2 more West Virginia police. They see a gun, and one of the cops shoots the guy in the back of the head, just behind the ear, and kills him. What happens later? Well, they put Stephen Mater on administrative leave, and later, they fire him for not eliminating the threat or not shooting the guy. Now, this is the type of police officer that I tell you over and over again, it's a good police officer. The bad police officers, they showed up and they did exactly what they were trained to do, like I've been telling you all along. This is not shoot to stop. This is shoot to kill, shoot to eliminate. And of course, then they have what they call the justice system, which there's no justice in it at all for us on their side. So now you have a war veteran who has become a police officer in the private sector, and he's fired for exercising restraint, assessing the situation, and for doing the right thing. See what I've been telling you? See what I've been telling you. RT has been reporting on this. It's a sad situation. It really truly is. And the police department makes no apologies whatsoever at all. Even though I believe it was his girlfriend that called the police officer and let them know, called dispatch and let them know that he has a gun, but there's no ammunition in it. They're trained, if they see a gun, they're going to shoot you. They will shoot you. For those of us that carry, you better keep that in your mind. You better keep that in your mind. We all are just one breath away from eternity. And you've got one life. And with these type of policies that are in place, and this type of training that so-called law enforcement, I don't know what it is, has, I will say it again and again and again. You better take extreme precaution in preparing to protect yourself. You better do it and your family. because we see innocent people who actually have a license to actually carry a firearm, to carry a firearm. If the cops even see it, if they even know you have it, they shoot you and you're dead. And there's only one story is going to be told, because when they tell it, it's going to be twisted, it's going to be lied, it's going to be fabricated, and we know the rest of the story. Acquitted, 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 acquitted. I applaud this man, but guess what? Now he has no job. He has no job. The only good cop that they probably had on the whole entire force has now been eliminated from the force because he exercised restraint. His military training actually kicked in over his academy training. What said you in this?